Let's just kick this off, Tom, by talking about what's been going down for you since being pulled off that UFC on Fuel TV card, and how your health is.
I'm good, man. It's unfortunate that Nick Penner had to pull out of the show, but everything happens for a reason. And my team has been, trying to get me to go to 185 for a long time. But at 205. Before the Cerrone Diabate fight, I was never really tested, And even against Cerrone, that was really short notice. So I really, like I said, I couldn't really be judged on that fight because, that was the first fight I was ever out of shape going into on 10 days notice. So I wanted to stay at 205. And then I went to the UFC Summit, and I saw all the 205 fighters together, and I saw how big these guys really are, and I just look like completely out of my weight class, man. Like, these guys are 6'3", 235, 240 pounds walk around weight. And the heaviest I ever got, for the most part, if I was really out of shape, was like 220. And, started to get in shape around 215. So since then, I decided to move down to 85. I'm about 207, 206 right now. Feel fantastic. Injuries are healing nice. UFC was going to give me some time to get my weight down and heal some injuries, and then, probably get the call sooner than later. And I feel good, man. I'll basically be able to make my weight cut from around 205 to 185.
Will you be doing like a test cut here?
No, because I used to actually be bigger when I used to fight earlier in my career. Like when I fought Sean Salmon, I cut down from like 224 to 205. So I cut down the day off from 214 to 205, the day of the weigh-in. So I know what it feels like to make a 20-pound cut. And it's so scientific now, and my diet's like so perfect right now. I've made a 20-pound cut before, so no need for me to really suffer more than I have to with doing a test cut. It's going to be a tough cut. I never really, I didn't grow up cutting weight like a lot of these wrestlers did. So to cut that 20 pounds the week of is going to be, it's probably going to be tougher than the fight, man.
Yeah, I hear that quite often. That's probably the toughest part about being an MMA fighter, right? The weight cut.
Yeah, man. And I mean, everybody's doing it now, and I thought so much about my life to get down, and the diet change has just become so natural. Like, just eating clean and my portion control. I don't really crave junk food or bad food anymore. So I basically, adjusted my mindset, and I think even after I'm done fighting, I'm probably going to keep this new wave. Like, I thought I ate clean before, but now I really, really eat clean. So I'm probably just going to keep it that way.
You got a chance to check out this UFC on Fox card last night.
Man, I was at a wedding. I didn't, but I was reading the play-by-play, and actually I made picks for another website, and every pick I picked came through, except the Phil Davis fight. I thought Phil Davis was going to win by submission, but that eye poke happened.
Oh, man, I should have been listening to you. I got smashed on this shit.
Yeah, I definitely thought Shogun was going to knock Vera out. I knew Lyoto was going to knock Bader out. I think Lyoto has the tools to beat John Jones, to be quite honest. If he does it is another question, but I think he has the tools to do it.
Let's look at this card this coming Saturday night. We got UFC 150 here. And let's just start at the bottom of this main card and work our way up to the main event for the title. So the first fight is Justin Lawrence versus Max Holloway. Justin Lawrence, obviously, from The Ultimate Fighter Live this past year. Don't know if you know much about these guys, but who do you like in this one?
This is really the only fight I really don't know much about. I really don't know anything about it. Every other fight I know pretty much about. Who won? Did he win the Ultimate Fighter, or he was just on the Ultimate Fighter?
He was on the Ultimate Fighter. He used to be one of Anderson Silva's training partners, and I can't.
Oh, he was a tough kid in the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Like when I first saw him, I thought he was going to win the whole show. Very good stand-up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even know how I didn't get to watch how he lost, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him, man. He looked like a monster on the show.
Okay, so let's move up and just talk about some of these fights so you know a little bit about. Yushin Okami is taking on Buddy Roberts, and I think Okami's original opponent pulled out. That's why Roberts is taking his spot. This is going to be a very tough fight for Buddy Roberts.
It's gonna. You would want to lead. Most people want to probably lead towards Okami, but Okami's coming off that knockout loss to Tim Boach, and.
Yeah.
He had that tough fight with Henderson, and Buddy Roberts has some pretty good hands, man. So if Buddy Roberts could keep it on his feet, like he seemed to be able to do against Deblass, he has a really good chance of knocking out Okami. But if I was a betting man, I'd have to say Okami's going to take him down and grind out a decision.
Okay, man. If I was going to pick this one, I think I'd go with Okami, but Buddy Roberts is a friend of the program, so hope he does well. So,
yeah, that's a good chance.
Yeah, so moving on up here, man, we got Jake Shields taking on Ed Herman. And Ed Herman is hell of a nice guy. It's kind of funny, he ran into some problems early in his career, lost a couple of fights, got hurt, was out of UFC for, I think, a year and a half. Since he's come back, he's just won, I think, 3 or 4 fights in a row here. And Jake Shields is always one of the top fighters in the division. Just talk about it.
Ed Herman's a super tough guy. Has Jake Shields fought again at 85 since he's moved up from 70, or is this his first fight again at 85?
I have a feeling this might be his first fight. I'm not 100% on that, but
I think he performs much better at 185 than he does 70. I think the cut really takes it out of him.
Okay, so before we got cut off, you were just talking about Jake Shields. You think does better at 185?
Yeah, I think he does better at 185. I think the weight cut for him to go to 170 is pretty tough. I would have to go with Jake Shields in this fight by submission.
Okay, I'm going on the other side here, going with Ed Herman, just because he's got a little roll going here. Hopefully he keeps it going. But I don't know the betting odds or anything like that at this point. It's too early in the week.
Yeah. It's going to be a good fight, man. Herman's got better hands for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, man. Donald Cerrone versus Melvin Guillard.
Cerrone, 100%. He submits Guillard. I'd put my house on it.
Oh, man. Is that confidence in Donald Cerrone or just no confidence in Melvin?
I think Melvin's a very tough guy, but I think Cerrone's, Cerrone's a stud, man. I think he's a really tough guy, and I think he had a bad performance against Diaz. But he does have very underrated wrestling. He has underrated jiu-jitsu. I think he'll find a way to get the fight to the ground, or I think Melvin may even take him down, and I just think Cerrone's going to capitalize on that and submit him. Maybe I won't bet my house on it, but
right.
So
Donald was calling out Anthony Pettis a few days ago. Do you think that's a mistake doing something like that before a fight?
No, because I think Donald's the type of guy, he just loves to fight so much to where, you could call him the day of and his focus is in the right place, I just think he's a really tough kid, and he'll be focused, I think,
Benson Henderson versus Frankie Edgar.
No, I gotta go with Frankie, not just because he's my teammate and I'll be there. I just think before that upkick, Frankie was really dominating the fight with takedowns and finding his mark, and that upkick really changed things. I think Benson's probably underestimating Frankie a little bit, and I gotta go with Frankie. Comeback kid, man. He always finds a way, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hit Benson on the button. If you remember, he dropped Henderson in the 5th round with a punch.
Right.
And if he finds that target early, I think he could call it a night.
This one, I think it's going to be another close fight. I think the first one was close. I had Henderson winning the fight, but Frankie's always better the second time around.
He is, man. The kid's a warrior. He finds a way. He just doesn't care. He went to Colorado and he has no the air is not affecting him at all. He's able to get tons of rounds in out there. The kid trains, man. The kid's born to fight. And it's what he loves to do. And Henderson, I think it's gonna be war, man. Henderson's a tough dude, and even though I say he's underestimating Frankie, probably he's not. He doesn't seem like a stupid guy. He's a God-fearing man, and he knows what Frankie could do. But I gotta go with my boy, man. Crazy is people made it seem like Henderson blew him out of the water.
Right.
you know. And if Frankie just did a couple things different, like, you know, when he caught the kick, he caught his kick 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And you could look at that any way. That night the judges looked at it as the kick was, even though he's catching the kick was landing. You know, obviously they looked at it that way. You know, but now Frankie knows that they look at it that way. So when he catches a kick, I'm sure he's going to do something with it, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're sure Henderson's going to be throwing more high kicks this time. You know, he's going to mix it up. And they both probably did a lot of studying. And I'm very excited to be in the first couple rows, almost having a heart attack. While I'm watching, asking myself, why the hell am I a UFC fighter? Because this is completely insane. But, you know, at the same time, I can't wait to get back in there.
So you're moving to middleweight. Is there a guy or two in mind that you'd like to kick things off with?
No, I mean, I know, like, there's probably, like, 6 guys that they'll pair me with that makes sense right now. Either, like, Chow Meglais, Clifford Starks, maybe, I don't know who else is there actually that just lost. Not that just lost, but the other Japanese guy, I forget his name, and then Fukita. They're having a show in China in November, and I'm like, watch, I'm gonna get the call to fight Fukita in China in November. My luck, right?
All right.
To be honest, man, MMA is MMA, and anything could happen. You know, like I could go out there and you could get caught the first 30 seconds. You know, like that happens. I do believe I have the talent to take it very far in the middleweight division, and you know, who they tell me to fight. You know, they called me on 7 days notice or 10 days notice a fight in Sweden, and I took it. You know, so who they tell me to fight, you know, I'll fight. I'm curious to see who they're gonna get me. You know, I'm like I said, Chow Meglais and Clifford Starks probably make the most sense, but you never know what could happen. Clifford hasn't fought in a while. Fought since last February or something. He fought the month before me, I think. So I don't know where he's been. Maybe he's injured or something. I don't know.
I appreciate this. Anything you want to throw out to promote your Twitter or a website or anything like that?
At Tom Deblass is my Twitter. You can email me on Facebook. Ocean County Jiu-Jitsu. You know, we are not just an MMA school. You know, we teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We have kickboxing, we have cross-training, we have fitness, and really everyone's welcome. Like, I'd say 10%, 5% of our people want to compete. And to be honest, I'm thankful that really no more than that want to compete, because it's about changing lives, man. You know, helping people accomplish their goals. No one goal is more important than the other in our place. So, you know, thanks for the support, everybody. If I got any haters out there, keep hating. No problem. I embrace it, and thanks for the call, man. I appreciate going over this stuff with you.